Despite everything, I still dream. And I have to know. Is it possible to become a hero even if I don't have a quirk? I'm a normal kid without any powers. Could I ever hope to be someone like you?
Without a quirk?
Is it possible to be a quirkless hero in the world of My Hero Academia? Well, the short answer is no. If you don't have powers, you will easily get outclassed by the people who do, and even All Might, the strongest hero in the world, tells Deku that without a quirk, he could not become a hero. Without a quirk, you cannot outrun the people who are faster than you. If you don't have a quirk, you cannot survive the destructive damage that some quirks can inflict. Without a quirk, you can't even stall the villains out either. And even if you have a quirk, you need to have a good one at that, because if your quirk isn't helpful in combat or in saving, then you just end up being useless in the battlefield. Aizawa even tells Deku that just having a quirk isn't good enough, and that he needs a strong and helpful quirk in order to be a hero, and he tells him this despite Deku having one for all on his side. This shows us how unfair and cruel the world can be sometimes, but in a sense, it is similar to our own world. Some are born with great skill and talent, while others aren't as lucky to be born talented. But something that really interested me while watching the show is the idea if being a quirkless hero is even possible, and to answer that question, we need to go all the way back to the very beginning. The protagonist of the show is a 14-year-old student who is named Izuku Midoriya, and he dreams of becoming a hero, but after finding out that he is quirkless, his dream he has had all his life started to look out of his reach. And even his mother doesn't support him in becoming a hero because of him being quirkless. That didn't stop him, because he still had hope that All Might would tell him that it's possible. And even though Izuku Midoriya had been bullied by Bakugo and his classmates, telling him that he cannot become a hero, and by his mother and then the doctor, he just hoped and wished that All Might could tell him that it's possible. But after meeting All Might tells him that being a hero is not an easy job, even though he is the number one. Then he shows him the scar he got from a battle 5 years ago. This shows us that without a quirk, you can really be outpowered by the powerful villains that are in the show. And then All Might proceeds to tell Izuku Midoriya that he doesn't believe that he can become a hero without a quirk. And after that, Deku gave up all hope on his dream.
Make sure your dreams are attainable.
Even All Might said it. A hero needs a quirk. Don't cry, damn it. Deep down you knew this, all along. You've just been avoiding reality. That's why you were trying so desperately to prove yourself wrong.
Of course, later we know that he got his quirk from All Might, giving him superhuman strength, but that still doesn't change the fact that, without it, he still would have been quirkless and he wouldn't have been able to become a hero. In fact, before the talk he had with All Might, Izuku almost got killed by the sludge villain, which he couldn't stop by any means. And in the entrance exam, once again he would have failed if it wasn't for his quirk, or to the fact that there were rescue points. And during the individual elimination test that Aizawa put up to remove the person in last place, Deku failed it due to him not having a quirk. This show makes it extremely clear that, without a quirk, being a hero is out of the question. But I would like to be given a chance to explain myself, and bear with me here, what if I told you that the show proves why the opposite is true? Think about it. If you aren't allowed to become a hero without a quirk, then why did they remove the rule that bans quirkless people from applying to UA?
Midoriya, don't you want to go to UA too?
Midoriya! You're kidding, right? There's no way you're getting into the hero course without a quirk!
Well, actually they got rid of that rule. I could be the first one.
If you absolutely need a quirk to be a hero, then surely the hero schools would ban people who don't have quirks, and especially the top hero program like UA, but they don't. In fact, they removed the rule that used to ban these people. Gadgets and suits exist in the My Hero Academia world. There are even people with gun-related quirks. So this shows us that quirkless people can be heroes, with the right tools and weapons of course. Some people would argue that having a quirk is what gives them superhuman strength and endurance, but that hasn't been stated once by the author. And think about it, there are characters like Toka, Stain, Shinso, and Aizawa, among others, that don't have any combat-related quirks, yet they are still able to keep up and not get killed. What's stopping quirkless people from learning how to move like Stain or Toka do? Or what's stopping them from using the binding cloth like Aizawa and Shinso do? There isn't, and that's because their physical combat skills don't come from their quirks, but from their training, which is something anyone can do. Look at Night Eye. His quirk lets him see into the future, but he still needs to be fast enough to dodge the attacks, but he does it effortlessly. But since people from the My Hero Academia world are by default superhuman, they could reach this level of speed too. Look at Mirio. His quirk has nothing to do with his strength, yet he can beat up Nomus and even Kirishima and Tokoyami, despite them having defensive quirks. We can even see that Deku came in first place in the UA Sports Festival race without even using his quirk. That's right, Deku beat every UA student in our race without a quirk, and he did this by using his head, using the broken robot piece as a shield and using the bombs as a boost. This shows us that it is possible to outsmart people with quirks, and that it is possible to beat them. And even in the My Hero Academia movie, we see this character outrunning Deku despite him not having any physical quirk, and Stain effortlessly dodges Todoroki's attacks, despite his quirk having nothing to do with speed or combat. All Might's opinion on quirkless heroes might have changed in Season 6, as Stain tells All Might that him being a hero had nothing to do with his power, but his heart, and his connections he had with others. And after that, All Might went to Class A telling them that he wanted to help them, not just as his teacher, but as a hero as well. Now, let me be clear. The reason I think that Deku could have become a quirkless hero is because Deku was a hero before he got his power. If you think about it, One For All wasn't what made Deku a hero. He became a hero the second he put someone else's life before his own. He became a hero when he tried to save Bakugo, even knowing that he could have been killed in that moment. And All Might tells him this before giving his power to him, that he was the bravest person there, despite him being the weakest one.